I ain't getting frisked. I put your security at risk.
Not to be racist, but
I walk in the crib, no getting frisked. Butt naked in the kitchen cooking grits. Tell your mama, come give me a kiss. Security gon' need security for this. I ain't getting frisked. Don't put the security at risk. Never take the family picture off the fridge. Never stand between a man and his kids. Y'all ain't got enough security for this. Y'all ain't got enough security for this. I put your security at risk. I make your security a quit. Like, we don't get paid enough for this.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Innocent Villains.
wow,
We're back.
It feels weird to
We're
say
back.
that.
We're back. How about that?
2-week hiatus after the first episode. Luke, I forgot to tell you.
Go ahead. Do it.
So I got an email, and this show's finally sponsored. Israel is sponsoring Innocent Villains.
Yes.
Because if anybody is an innocent villain,
That was really good. Well, they're not innocent.
well,
They're not innocent at all.
in the eyes of Donald Trump, they are.
My gosh, it's just so frustrating. I didn't think we were going to start with this, but we could definitely
Why not?
start with this. Yeah, it pisses me off because we have now a president who's being controlled by our quote-unquote greatest ally, and it's like, that's not our ally. We have fought all their wars.
Right.
They want us to get into war with Iran.
Right.
We don't want to go to war with Iran. It's not benefiting us. There's no reason. Did you see Bibi Netanyahu when he just gave John Fetterman a nice little silver beeper, nice little covered in silver, a silver beeper, because that's what they use to kill
Right,
the terrorists.
It's
Or
just
the
too,
suspected terrorists.
Right. It's just too much. It's just too much. And I think the problem is now the left is able to say, oh, you know, this is who you voted for, this is what you voted for, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, if you really still go back to that campaign, like, the Democrats ran someone that wanted to, the Democrats' campaign was they were going to turn my son trans, and they were going to fucking make... And they were going to fucking make Haitians sleep in the garage that we do the podcast in. Like, we were going to have Haitians in here. We were going to be overran. It was going to be overpopulated inside of the Innocent Villain studio.
Wow.
And it just, I mean, Kamala Harris ran an awful campaign. How could you vote for that? And then you vote for Donald Trump. And it's, the problem is Donald Trump obviously promised America first.
Yeah. And we haven't got that.
I was just looking at your shirt.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
You like that? Only the real ones know about this shit right here, okay?
Yeah.
Only the real ones know.
It's called a rabbit hole, Luke, and you're lost.
Listen.
You're lost.
I think we can we talk about Nick Fuentes? I think
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem.
As long as it's not him on the internet, I think it's fine.
Okay, so he has a lot of really good points. If you listen to him, if you just look at the viral clips.
Like you said, it's just all about going back to a Christian based life, I guess, and wrapping yourself in Christianity. And like Joe Rogan said, Christianity is a nice idea, no matter whether you are Christian or not. To have this idea of a heaven, a hell, a good, a right. I mean, the good deeds of a Christian, you know, like that's the mindset that would produce great civilizations as they did throughout history.
Yes, but even past that, Nick Fuentes wants to have this Christian theocracy, whether or not it's a good or a bad thing for America. We can decide that later.
Is it good for your fiance or no? Does he want to lock her in a closet? I don't know. I'm simply asking.
It's a little bit sensational. I watch him now like 3 days out of the week. Like that's how deep I am. Because here's the thing, he's actually really smart.
Right.
He's actually really smart. He's not as radical as
Is he
you would
smart
think.
or is he well spoken? That's the problem that I think a lot of times we're falling into. Is
he's intelligent.
Okay.
Like the way he's describing like the treaties and stuff in the background. Like he was talking about Thomas Massey and Trump, which that's another thing.
Yeah.
Holy shit. We'll talk about that in a second. But he was talking about Thomas Massey. He was talking about congressional Republicans every new session. What's it called? When they increase the debt ceiling, right? And they say, oh, yeah, we'll just do it next session. And they've been saying that for damn near 8 years and increasing the government spending. It's like they keep kicking the can down the road. And he's describing this in great detail. And he's like, he basically is attacking the right, the mainstream right from the far right. And whether or not you agree with the far right, his criticism of the mainstream right is definitely valid.
I could see that. And I could see how one on the right or middle centered right from this current left and right. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, we're centered, but obviously lean more right because the left is so far gone.
But like, after these past couple weeks,
trying to find the good spot in this fucking mic.
You're good. You're adjusting. We're getting back.
It's been a minute.
But like, after seeing everything that's happening, there you go.
Yeah.
After seeing everything that's happening with Trump, I mean, candidate Trump. Who said this? Dave Smith. He said candidate Trump is much different than President Trump.
It really is. It really is.
And it's a damn shame.
But also, candidate any president is different than every president. You know.
But yeah, but like, not Biden.
I mean, technically, yeah, he said he was going to forego student loans, didn't do that, but then ran a shitty campaign and continued to be a shitty president. So I guess, yes, you know what I mean? But every president promises a better economy. Every president promises a better America. Every president promises X, Y, Z. And every president only really offers money to Israel and gives money to fucking... who the hell did I just see that we were giving money to? $10 million a month to the Taliban.
Oh, what?
Yes, look that up.
No
look that up.
way.
$10 million a month to the Taliban.
That's crazy.
I saw it on Twitter last night.
Let's see.
They were at like a congressional hearing or something, and they brought up the fact that we give $10 million. It wasn't even this video. Scroll down some more.
Let's see. Right
here, yeah.
40 million.
40 million a
Holy
week.
shit.
A week. It wasn't even a month. I was wrong.
No way.
Watch the video.
It's 5 minutes.
Well, okay, so scroll down because there was a clip. So try to find the clip of it because it was like a 30-second clip of them just basically saying, do you know that we're... Right here. Yeah, just do this one.
First off, this is really infuriating.
Right.
40 million per month.
Why are we giving any money at all to terrorist organization?
I mean, we're giving all this money to Israel, but that's another thing.
Well, that's different.
All right, let's take a look at this, though. This is quite interesting.
Are you aware that we are sending $40 million a week?
A week?
To the
What? No
A week.
way.
A week.
Did you say a week or a month?
I said it was 10 million. I said 10 million a month, and I was so wrong.
Holy
to
shit.
the Taliban?
Yes, sir.
Can you name other instances of foreign aid going to terrorist
And this
organizations?
is the guy at the bottom. He's not the one who's talking, so it's somebody else, but it's cut out of the video.
Is he just like a reporter?
I don't know what that guy is, but the guy who said yes sir and answers these questions, it's not him.
Okay.
So just keep playing. Maybe they'll show it.
We have assisted Al-Shabaab in Somalia. There's been instances of the Hamzi network in Sudan, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Hezbollah, Kataib al-Hezbollah, Hayat Tahrir al-Shams in Syria. Dozens of terror organizations have received indirect assistance from U.S. foreign aid.
Holy shit.
Now, he does say indirect, but I wonder how, if it's indirect, how are we able to tell that the Taliban is taking $40 million
That's infuriating.
a week?
That's infuriating.
$40 million a week.
That's infuriating.
It really is.
Okay, so getting back to it then, like, here's the thing with Trump. I just don't understand how we weren't paying attention to the whole Israeli influence thing with Trump. I understand that these were criticisms of him in the first administration.
Right.
But, I mean, I didn't see any of it coming. Maybe it's because I wasn't aware of it.
I mean, it wasn't the campaign he ran.
Not at all.
You know, he
Not
didn't
at all.
say that he was going to be in Israel's back pocket, and now it's, hey, Israel says clear the Gaza Strip. Okay.
I think the first...
And then they really go and clear the Gaza Strip.
My gosh, the ceasefire is over. The first
Fuck
signs,
yeah, it is.
The first signs of the deep state, like the Israel deep state, kind of entrenching their claws, was when Rubio became the Secretary of State. That's what people like Dave Smith were saying, like, don't do this.
Right.
Avoid Marco Rubio, and then they put him in.
Right.
Other people, but Rubio was the biggest one where I was like, if Dave Smith is saying, like, don't do this, then don't do this.
Right. And every single one of the people in Trump's cabinet have a past or have a flag on their name, you know?
Fucking Dan Bongino.
Exactly.
Dan Bongino, clip comes up. What's your number one priority? Israel. Last time I checked, you were working for America,
right.
buddy.
Well, he's in the Taliban, I guess, because how the fuck is that even... How is that even your answer? How is that even the first thing that comes out of your mouth?
Without a second, without a hesitation.
Speaking of Israel,
the
Jews, JFK.
Oh. So what do we learn yet?
Dude, so I saw something, I saw an excerpt, and it was something about we got, did you send it to me? It was, we have new funding, the Jews, now we need to just get JFK out of here, something like that. They made contact with Oswald before
Let's take
the
a look.
shooting. There's just so much that goes in here. Why don't you just type in JFK files? I guarantee you shit pops up all over the place about
Of course.
Jews, JFK files.
Do you want me to put Jews in?
Yeah, see what happens. See if it comes up with that highlighted spot. Come on, Gronk.
Right here?
I think so. Can you read that? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
All right, let me we're going to put this up for you guys and we can read it together here. Trying to see if I should zoom in, if I can zoom in. I don't think I would be able
Control Z?
It should be control and then the plus, but yeah, it's not working. Let's try control Z. No. Anyway, right here, right, if you guys can't read it, I'll read it for you, but here's the highlighted portion from the JFK files. It says, "We now have plenty of money. Our new backers are Jews. As soon as, quote, us or they take care of Kennedy." What?
Dude.
What? Look at this right here, folks. That's it. It's a little bit hard to read, but we'll zoom in on it for you when you're looking at this. What do you think here?
I don't know. There's so much more that goes into it. Like I said, they met with Oswald. There's another form that I read that talked about that the FBI had him flagged as a killer. He was going to kill JFK, and then Oswald's going to die after that. The problem is it's like 8,000 pages, and I work a day job. I don't have time to sift through this. I also don't have a degree, so it's hard for me to read this shit. So I just need somebody to tell me what the real fucking thing happened, because obviously I just don't know. Who shot him? The files aren't going to say who shot him. But the files are out. And do the files really just, is it just here? I promise the files. Let me go, BB.
And that's another thing. It's like, okay, we're not going to get the Epstein files. And we're not going to get the answers that we want. I don't think we ever will.
No, I don't think so either. I know it's hurting you because I know you were really excited about the MLK files coming out. But I just don't think that it's going to happen.
It's not going to happen. We're not going to get them.
Speaking of this, I just don't, not even speaking of, but did you see Tim Walz talking about he's going to beat up somebody in a WWE fight?
You want to play that?
He's going to beat up what? Any Trump? Was it any Trumper?
He was talking about MAGA supporters. Let's try and find it. I think I sent it to you. Here it is. Let's we'll play that.
What a dumb nut.
What a very dumb person. I just can't believe that Tim Walz said something like this. You know what I mean?
The Gavin Newsom show is already off the rails. I mean, had Charlie Kirk on, that was an entire thing. Mm-hmm. And now follows Charlie Kirk up follows Charlie Kirk up with Tim Walz.
We'll see when it is or how long it takes for us to find it.
The identity piece of this is more important than the actual substance behind it.
Well, they've been doing it for decades. I mean, we've saw the welfare queens. They've seen the Southern strategy. We've seen it over and over. It's an old playbook, and we're as dumb as we want to be that we allow. He talks about working folks, and he talks about how we hollowed out the industrial core of this country. But I understand that. But so we can dismiss the notion of election denialism. We could completely dismiss what he did on January 6th, but I don't think you can dismiss what he's saying. Reminds me a lot of what Bernie Sanders was saying. Reminds me a lot of what Democrats said 20, 30 years ago.
All right, hold on. Let's get right here.
Most of their ass, I do think.
All right, so this is that clip of Tim Walz saying that he would beat Republicans' ass in a WWE fight.
This is part of the conversation I'm trying to have. Is you got to respect people you disagree with, and you can't just dismiss people. This
How
notion
do you fight it?
This
I
notion
think
of
I could kick most of their ass. I do think that if they want to do it. I know I can outrun them, but I don't know if we're going to fall into that place where we want to. Okay, we challenge you to a WWE fight here type of thing.
Close enough. I mean,
So
I doubt. Tim, whose ass are you beating?
I don't know. I feel like his wife beats his ass. But so Caitlyn Jenner actually saw this clip and she reacted to it, and she says right here, she said right here, I'm more masculine than Tim Walz, and she's a trans woman. So there's that too.
Wow.
Once
Tim
again,
Walz.
this is why the Democrats are so unpopular. Like, listen, the Republicans are shitting the bed. Absolutely shitting the bed right now. They're talking about cutting like $2.1 trillion of Medicaid. What the fuck? What the fuck?
There's a lot of shit that doesn't sit right with me that's happening that people called, and you could tie it into.
Listen, we were wrong.
Project 2025.
We were just we were slobbing on it for Trump.
I mean, who else were we going to glaze over? Both candidates weren't really the best.
I drank
and
the Kool-Aid.
Trump was the best at the time.
He was the better one. He was the better one. But
I'd like out of the cult. I don't want to join the left.
Yeah,
but I'm not blowing this administration for the next 4 years.
No, but like this whole thing has kind of pushed me a little bit more back to the center because
it just makes me wonder what's going to happen. Because this, as people say, it gets better before it gets worse. Well, how worse is it going to get before it gets better? Because we're 2 months into it.
My Roth IRA,
same here.
terrible.
Same here.
But anyway, so like Trump, okay, this whole thing very disappointing, right? But
speaking of,
just to continue,
yeah,
real quick,
go ahead.
Just to cap it off, like, but the modern left, the Democratic Party, is so bad. Like, people would rather have Trump over that guy.
Yeah, of course, because he has so many lies. Tiananmen Square, that he served in active combat, all that shit that, how do you not sift through these candidates before you just go, yep, here's my vice president?
Once again, John Shapiro went on Bill Maher, and you know what? He was looking very, very good.
I
don't know why they didn't pick him for president.
Right. And honestly, hats off to Bill Maher, who's reflecting on the left in their decision to run based on the 1%, based off of the transgender. Like he said, I don't know if you watched that video before of him walking off of that podcast.
Yeah, I did. When
where he basically just said, continue to run a campaign where you're talking about, just changing the identity of someone's child. And that's the problem, is the left just ran this campaign on abortion and on gender reaffirming care and all that stuff. And if you want to win an election, I mean, I understand you want to see this side. You want to see the LGBT. You want to see, I guess, I don't want to say that you see other races,
But they do.
Of course they do. The left is the one that pushes this narrative. The left is the reason that racism's still alive, for fuck's sake.
Well,
they continue to bring it. I mean, other than that,
it lives in me a little bit. It lives in me. Listen, I have an unpopular opinion. I think that I think everybody is a little bit racist.
100%.
Everybody's a little bit racist.
Every single person is.
And as I do a little bit more research than I have, I don't know. This is a little bit controversial.
You probably. Okay.
Some people don't think that Jim Crow was such a bad thing. Now, I'm not advocating for segregation, but some people, black people online, have said that segregation was able to prop up black people, prop up black businesses, because they were all forced to kind of, coincide with each other and buy each other's stuff. There were a couple of towns in the South which were very wealthy black towns, all black towns, which they had a lot of wealth in. When segregation was done away with and people were forced to integrate with each other, some of these towns went away. A couple other of them flooded because they were in the South, in Georgia, but just where they were geographically located close to the water and stuff.
And the rest of the black businesses burned down during the Summer of Love. So
yeah,
we had problems all over the place.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm for segregation. I'm just saying,
of course not. That's not the point of this. But however, everybody is a little bit racist. And that racist doesn't even mean that that you hate the other person. It's just the stereotypes. Everybody fits the stereotype.
There's a reason that the stereotypes exist.
Everybody fits the stereotype.
What's a white stereotype?
What's a good?
I
white
can think
stereotype?
of black ones.
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah. They're calling us anti-Semitic for seeing the Jewish ones.
Well, you know that.
All I'm saying is Kanye says that Jews control the media, and then he gets
Kanye's going
banned.
fucking nuts.
That's
dude.
another. You want to talk about that?
Pull up his Twitter.
Oh
just start pulling up his tweets.
Kanye is going to something bad. Something bad. I'm scared that's going to happen. What is happening with this?
Oh no.
There we go. I'm scared something is going to happen to Kanye that's really, really bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
Is he trending on Twitter? Let's look if he's trending on Twitter first. Let me record this first off. Let's do that before we do anything else. Now, he's going by Ye, but for the past, what would you say, month, he's just been going off. Usually he would have a Twitter rant for a couple hours, and then he would go away. And this goes
What
all the
happened
way.
with his Twitter in the first place? Because at one point in time, was it deactivated?
It was deactivated. He goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He did release a new album, by the way, just not on streaming, on a different website, which nobody saw, nobody went to. But okay, look at his regular Twitter. And then I will show everybody a tweet that he deleted. So this is everything. Okay, he's talking about the people betraying him.
Read the list. Read the list.
We can just play it for you.
Oh, he speaks on them.
He speaks on it. Listen to this. This is all on Kanye's Twitter.
You know, my thing is when I'm going into these fights with shit I'm really dealing with, it'd be good if niggas like actually help me because what I'm saying is right. But instead, the Jews come in and punk these niggas into going against me and they forget about everything that I did for them. Every nigga I just named, I bled for these niggas. I did something. I put them on and shit. I took them with me on tour. I had them open up this, that. And it's like, niggas don't have to be making statements against me in public. And everybody know what I'm saying is right. And I'm the only one who will fucking say this shit. It's like, I never, like,
I want
the type of, like, my
2001
mom.
Kanye back.
He was just a producer in 2001. Oh, is that your point?
Yeah.
Is that your point?
Yeah, he just shut the fuck up. Like, and then he became a great artist, and then now he goes crazy.
Here's the thing, though.
And how good is that new album? It's probably banger.
I kind of listened to it, okay?
Is it good?
But we'll talk about that. But here's the point. We're going to keep going through his tweets, and I'm just going to talk to you guys about what he's... So, by the way, he took Diddy's side. That's interesting.
Well, because the Jews put Diddy up to it.
I'm not going to co-sign that.
Just, making it up. The KK
yeah.
Kardashian.
So here's Diddy's ex. He's talking to Cassie, which was the lady that Diddy beat in that video, that security video. He goes, Cassie, you shut the fuck up. You came to extort the N-word. Diago put out a 10-year-old tape to make the public focus on that, referencing the beating. I ride with Diddy because that's exactly what Adidas tried to do to me. They froze my accounts right before tax time. When you don't pay $60 million taxes, you get to go to jail. Or you go to jail, get it? I'm not the crazy one here. Well, maybe if you didn't talk in all caps.
Maybe if you didn't have a Super Bowl ad and then scrub your website and only sell a swastika t-shirt.
Which was kind of funny.
Dude, it was fucking hilarious.
Now
At the end of the day, Kanye and Antonio Brown are the biggest comedians in the world right now, other than like real comedians.
Because Kanye still might not be on well. He's been calling out Playboi Carti a lot for kind of going behind his back and getting, I think, North on his album, but they cut Kanye's feature, even though he still had a couple songs that he produced on Playboi Carti's newest album. Okay, but look.
Do you like Playboi Carti's music?
Not the new album.
It's hot garbage.
The new album sucked.
I
We'll
agree.
talk about
This
that in
is
a
a big
second.
one.
So right here, he calls out the Kardashians. He goes, the Kardashians are sex workers, and they sex traffic all of the black children they strategically produce. He's referring to his kids. The overwhelming theme, there's two overwhelming things right here. He's talking about his second daughter, saying that he hasn't been able to see her. He goes right here, this is one of my daughters that I have no rights to raise and never see, like when I wasn't allowed to go to the birthday party. So yes, I've wanted to die. And now, throughout this whole Twitter rant, he's talking about he wants to die. Like, legit, he wants to die. And yes, it's fuck Kim, Cardi, Jay-Z, whoever. And watch, I show you this picture, and you'll not believe me. Continue on. He's talking about the same thing. As a father, this made me very uncomfortable to see countless pictures like this of my children placed inside their phones. This was Shy, screensaver. Chicago is his second daughter's name. I am 100% convinced that my children are in a sex trafficking ring. The grandmother, Kris Jenner, he is alleging signed for the sex tape. Continuing on. He said this as well, which is kind of crazy. So he's continuing on, right? He's going on. He's talking about all these people. He's saying, I'm in pain that no person can fix. He's listing all these people that betrayed him, which is a lot. I'm in pain. I bled for everyone here, which is true. And then he goes, Cassie used to run orgies, which is the girlfriend that Diddy is beating on in the video, okay? Continuing on, it gets worse. He's making memes, right? He's decided this time that he's going to go against Playboi Carti, and look at that. There's Hitler over there, and there's Dave Blunt's. That's funny. Anyway, so he's continuing on, right? But there's one tweet that he did delete, and we'll get to that in a second. But right here, he goes, I know it's going to hurt Jay-Z to kill me, but somebody's got to do it. Referencing somebody has to kill him. He goes, I know
Plus, I don't want the Jews getting credit for my murder.
Yep, that's up there. And then he says, I know Jay-Z is driving around like, damn, I have to kill Kanye. Okay, so why? Why do you think that he's saying this? Well, Kanye tweeted something about Jay-Z and Beyonce, and he deleted it. And the internet went crazy over it because what he alleged is like really odd. Why are you alleging this?
I don't think you sent it to me.
I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did.
Was it yesterday?
It was today, sometime today. I think I sent it. Anyway, so I'll just talk about it because I don't think that.
You might be able to look it up and find it. Or...
I probably will. Hold on one second. I'm losing my point. I'm losing
right
my
there.
point. No, that's not it. This is
Oh.
a different one. This is a screenshot, and I'm not going to get it. That's fine. So basically what Kanye said was it was a tweet. It was Kanye's deleted tweet, and he's talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce and their second and third children. And what is he saying about Jay-Z and Beyonce's second kids? Here we go. This is the tweet that started it all, really, today. Wait, has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger kids? They're retarded. No, like literally. And this is why artificial insemination is such a blessing. Having retarded children as a choice. This is from him. Do not ban me. Okay? So, with that being said, he has gone on this whole thing. And Kanye, what he does is he says truthful things, but this is one of the backdrops of his newest Twitter rant. The other one is that he accuses Jewish people, not me, but Jewish people making he's accusing Jewish people that are in the entertainment industry of signing artists to these huge contracts and controlling what they say.
Right. I mean, so at what point in time do we just link what Kanye's saying to what Cat Williams is saying?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know, but we consider...
Like, are they on the same... Obviously, Kanye... I'm not saying Cat Williams is a Nazi, or I'm not saying any of these... I'm not saying Kanye is a Nazi.
He did...
Yeah, he did claim it. He did claim it. But, like, Cat Williams is trying to expose from a different angle, and maybe Kanye's just trying to do it just, like, with a hint of autism. You know what I mean? Like... Because this is autistic shit right here.
I mean, he came out and said he was autistic.
Well,
a
of
couple
course
months
he did.
ago.
Yeah, we covered it. It was a breaking story.
Yeah, that nobody decided to click on. You guys
Nobody
fucking
cared.
suck.
Nobody fucking cared, dude. What's going on in the world?
This Kanye rant, like these Kanye rants, they become more frequent and they become like normalized. Like,
Yeah.
bro, this shit used to break the internet. Now it's like it's another.
Now
day.
it's just
because he's
Kanye.
doing it so much,
Right. And he can't top showing up with his wife naked at the fucking whatever awards. Like
he's just, I don't know.
Did you forget about that?
No.
How big were her tits, dude?
Those things were
insane.
As somebody that's gonna be married, I don't want to quote that.
Don't give me
it was how about this? It was insane that it happened.
It was insane that it happened.
I just oh gosh.
They were huge.
Those things. What were you about to say? What were you about to transition to?
I don't even think I had a transition.
Well, I have something.
Go ahead.
Gal Gadot. So Gal Gadot, if you guys know who Gal Gadot is, she is the Wonder Woman actress. Oh, never mind. That's misinformation. Whoops. I had a whole thing. I had a whole thing going, and I should probably show you guys.
Oh, Grok got you, dude.
I got community noted. Fellas, we fact check ourselves. I was going to talk about a quote unquote story where Gal Gadot's brand new Hollywood Walk of Fame star was destroyed. But it says right here, the damaged star is pictured as Donald Trump's, not Gal Gadot's. The incident happened in 2018. Fuck me. My apologies.
We only use mainstream media around here, all
My
right? Only news outlets
apologies.
that are telling the truth. Speaking of telling the truth, Chucky Schumer visited our bitches over at The View.
Also a Jew.
Yes.
That rhymed.
Yeah.
That rhymed.
The Jew went on The View, and he's a fucking asshole. Apparently, he thinks that because you live in the United States that you do not get to see any of your paycheck. You get to continue to be taxed. And that is what it means to live in America. Now, listen, we all pay our taxes. We all do it. We all understand. But Chuck Schumer just has no idea how to talk to Americans.
No.
Like, Like, what did he think that was going to be? And the silence in the room was just...
They're all like...
Right, like...
Because they're all, like, in New York getting taxed at 50%
Exactly.
already.
And I'm going to keep taxing your bitch ass. That's where you live, blah, blah, blah. Fucking play that video. Fuck Chuck.
And you know what their attitude is? I made my money all by myself. How dare your government take my money from me? I don't want to pay taxes.
Exactly.
How much money does Chuck Schumer make in insider trading?
Oh my gosh! I mean, you want to know how much he takes from Israel? It's damn near over 10 million. It's crazy.
Or I built my company with my bare hands. How dare your government tell me how I should treat my customers?
Listen to they're turning the music on because they want him to shut the fuck up.
The land and water that I own, or my employees. They hate government. Government's a barrier to people. A barrier to stop them from doing.
Whoopi's like, okay, we'll be right back.
Sonny hosted was fucking. She was silent.
Things they want to destroy it. We are not letting them do it, and we're united.
Okay, good.
What the fuck was that? What kind of unite the cavalry speech was that? Was he trying to speak? Like, he looked like he was talking at a board meeting in front of other people in government. What the fuck was that?
I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense to me how, like, I mean, he literally said the quiet part out loud. So when we make fun of Republicans and we're critical of Republicans, like, understand there's not a party for us at the moment.
No.
Because the Democratic Party is that. And
Right.
it's like, okay, who am I? I understand we can't put our faith in politicians. But, like, what party is going to represent me? This is why I think the people on the left and the right that are truly America first, that don't take the AIPAC money, not this, but the people that truly don't take the AIPAC money, the America first people, should come together. The Bernie Sanders, the Thomas Masseys of the world, the Rand Pauls, the AOCs, people like that should come together and start a new party, like a populist reform party, something. Because I guarantee they would have a lot of support. I guarantee that.
I agree.
But it's
And
just
that's-
frustrating.
And that's what you continue to hear on mainstream media. Like I said,
Chuck Schumer is the establishment.
like I said, thank God for Bill Maher for being kind of, this guy with a left-wing podcast who is
and a
now
show on HBO.
Right. And he's coming out and he's talking about how this is insanity, how the left is running and continue to run this, and you're never going to win another election. And, I could see Bill Maher advocating for a new party. Maybe the Green Party in 2028 is the party that comes alive because the Republicans are so far right and the lefts are so far left. But if the Anunnaki come down. No.
I don't think the Republicans are really far right. They should be more far right, but they're not. The problem is the Democrats are so far left, and the Republicans are such pussies.
I don't know. Like, I think when I say the Republicans are very far right, I think they are just trying to double down on everything that the left hates.
Yeah, okay, they're reactionary.
Politics anymore is reactionary. It's you stand for this, you want this, well, I'm going to make this illegal, like everything that they're targeting with. Granted, yes, I am not for men and women's sports. I am not for pushing the transgender on anybody under 18. Transgender surgeries, that is. But that's all they're focusing on. That's all we're covering. Those are in our win columns that we have. We're 2 months into this, and all we can really celebrate is the fact that, we signed an executive order banning men from women's sports, and everything that they're doing, I guess, to slow the transgender movement and everything like that in schools. And
Department
and
of
whatnot.
Education getting
the
shut
Department
down.
of Education
It's
getting
supposed
shut
to.
down.
It's supposed
but
to.
you know what I mean? Like, when we really tally them up, there's really nothing that goes, wow, this is going to affect me. But that's the problem. Is every year election time, these people sit here and they promise a better America, a great America, all this stuff, and then they never follow through with it, or it takes forever to follow through with it. So right now we just sit here and we shut up, because no matter what, guess what? Donald Trump's the president. We still have jobs. Unless your job was cut by fucking Doge, we're fine.
Which, sorry.
Right. Whoops.
But
you guys were sending fucking $40 million a week to the Taliban. What the fuck? And Israeli Sesame Street or whatever the fuck that was, and then condoms in the Congo.
I don't know, man. Like, the more, and that's funny, by the way, I do remember that, but
Yeah.
the more I remember when we shat on Kyle Kalinske a couple months ago? A couple months ago, we shat on him.
Remember when we got absolutely dogged?
Right, because the algorithm lately, it likes to find the people that are exact opposite of whatever videos we put out, and it just says, okay, go.
Right.
But no, we shat on Kyle Kalinske for making a point like this. And then you think about it.
I think during the election, we got very lost.
We did get very lost, but like when you start to like contextualize what's actually happening, I can understand why people on the left think that Elon Musk is an oligarch. And when you do your research, the people that Joe Rogan has had on, for example, the Peter Thiels, who put $10 million into J.D. Vance's Senate seat and then financed Trump's election win, put a bunch of money into his campaign, okay? A Silicon Valley tech billionaire who is gay, by the way. Not that that really matters, but I don't think he has any kids. These people are childless and sexless. Continuing on, you have somebody like Mark Andreessen, who is a member of the PayPal mafia as well, I believe. Another Silicon Valley tech billionaire. You have, you have Zuckerberg.
Right.
Zuckerberg. And people like this. Obviously, Elon is a part of Silicon Valley, was involved with PayPal early on. Became somebody who was very wealthy off of PayPal. You have
the
people,
PayPal mafia is crazy.
When you do your research, it is crazy.
Yeah.
You have the people like Bezos now that are kind of siding with Trump. Sam Altman, who is, I think he does have kids, but he's also gay, and he's talking about wanting to infuse with technology. You have Larry Ellison, who's talking about getting vaccines for cancer and
all
stuff
the stuff
like
that we covered months ago.
Right. But the thing is now, all these people have all this access to government power,
Right.
Power in the government.
Right.
I saw this one theory, and I want you to understand this.
Okay.
Because this is really crazy. It's more or less like, it's not a theory. It's somebody on the left who's being very, very critical of Trump and Elon and saying how they may very well be criminals. And I want you to see this and see what you're thinking.
I get it. Listen.
This lady is basically saying that Elon and Trump are gaming the system so they both don't have to go to jail. Listen to this.
They made an agreement to support each other to get the White House so that they could each avoid going to prison. The very first place that Elon Musk raided was USAID, which was conducting an investigation about Starlink in Ukraine. He immediately went to USAID, shut it down, had his crackhead code data guys go in, take all the hard drives, and gets little Marco Rubio to go along with it. The reason they're moving at such rapid speed, dipshits, is not because they're trying to save money. It's because they're destroying evidence that could incarcerate them. And that is the blood bond that these two morons have together.
What do you think about that?
I just think that I'm so over everyone calling everyone a moron. The real morons are the left. If you guys would have came out with this, if you guys would have ran a different campaign, anything, you could have stopped this. You could have stopped this. Am I saying it needs stopped? Not yet. It doesn't need stopped yet. It's not too far out of hand. Do I like where it's going? No.
We're not even 2 months in, so.
Exactly. Do I like where it's going 2 months in? No, but it always gets better before it gets worse. I digress. However, stop calling everyone on the right a moron.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you had this concern and all this stuff, put up a better fight. Run a fucking strong... At the end of the day, I don't think the United States is sexist. However, if you throw a... woman of color who is an obvious drunk soccer mom at heart, who is an obvious word salad using, and I'm going to start talking like it because I'm just so passionate about the fact that the left ran such a shitty campaign.
They had they didn't have that many better candidates, but they had a couple really good candidates. Once again, you hate
But you saw this coming. You saw this coming. Did you really think that after these 4 years, America was going to be dumb enough to reelect Joe Biden? So then, these past 4 years when Joe was in office, how the fuck weren't you trying to source some new options?
It's just very frustrating.
You shit on this lady for 3.5 years.
Oh, you know what does piss me off, though? Because we do see holes in Trump's whole presidency,
Of
right?
course.
We see holes in him as a political candidate. Maybe not a political candidate, but a president political figure now. If you're the fucking Democrats, you could have so easily fucked Trump over. You could have so easily beat him. he claims to be America first. He has not been America first. He's been Israel first. But the reason that you don't attack him on that is because the majority of you are all captured by Israel. Yes, Donald Trump has taken over $230 million from AIPAC, an organization that lobbies on behalf of Israel. But Kamala Harris also took over $10 million from AIPAC on behalf of Israel. So let's not act like these two aren't mutually exclusive. They're the same thing. You could attack Trump and say, yes, he's not doing everything that he said. But the problem is, then you would be contradicting yourself because you do the same exact thing as well. It's one party, and it's so fucking frustrating.
It happens. It happens.
They could kill him like that, but they don't. Like Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer participated in that vote, right? He could say instead, like, we shouldn't send all of this money to Israel. And by the way, the Democrats are right now, the Democratic Party, such a shitty opposition party.
I agree.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. I thought he was going to be a freaking star. I thought he was going to be a star. Not one word about any of this shit. You would think you would see viral videos of him talking about the Trump administration, saying these people are fascists, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Whether or not they are or not, that's not the point. The point is, like, you would want an opposition party because we heard for 4 years that Trump is so bad and he's doing bad things. I don't agree with a lot, but the problem is Hakeem Jeffries takes millions and millions of dollars from AIPAC. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now the country that's killing children, killing babies, killing Christians, Muslims, other Jews as well in Gaza is paying him the money, so he shuts the fuck up. We don't have a serious opposition party if you are on the left, but like, it's just so frustrating because both the parties are complicit, and then you have people. We're going to give them their flowers. I don't agree with some of these politicians, their politics. AOC does not take any money from AIPAC. Ilhan Omar does not take any money from AIPAC. Bernie Sanders does not take any money from AIPAC. Marjorie Taylor Greene does not take any money from AIPAC. Thomas Massey does not take any money from AIPAC. Those people should form an alliance, a third party, even though they have different ideas. I don't even know if it would work, but we need something different.
But don't we already have...
We have caucuses within the
no,
Congress.
Not caucuses, but don't we already have issues within there? Like, didn't AOC speak out against Marjorie Taylor Greene? I think everybody on the left spoke out against her. They all thought she was a radical right, crazy lunatic.
Well, she is a little bit crazy. She did cheat on her husband of 20 years with her gym instructor. That is valid. These people are trash. A lot of these people are trash.
Really? Everybody is trash.
Lauren Boebert used to be an escort. Anna Paulina Luna was a stripper.
AOC was a bartender.
Okay, that's not the same thing.
No. But AOC probably.
But the Republican Party, though, they claim to be like the party of morals,
right?
You know,
no, there's
and
no morals.
They're not.
There's no morals over there. They're going to continue to chop off the wieners of 8-year-old boys who say they want to be girls, and they're going to continue to run shitty campaigns.
But something else that I will say though, Thomas Massey, who is a Republican, oftentimes him, AOC, the squad, they do vote the same a lot.
Well, I mean, I would love to see it. I would love to see it. The only problem is that's them jumping ship and praying to God that something sticks. And like you said, Israel runs America, dude. They do. At the end of the day, are they really? Israel has money that we can't fathom. They can buy anyone. So they start this new third party. You're telling me they're not going to throw a number out there at this new party?
It would have to be based off of respect in the public. See, everything's fully transparent. We can see how much money AIPAC gives to all of these politicians. It would have to be fully transparent.
Yeah.
It would have to be.
It's just so messy. Politics is so messy.
The two-party system is so fucked. If we had a third party, I guarantee you, if it represented a fraction of what the American people actually want.
If it was actually America first, if it was actually based upon buying or getting affordable housing, increasing wages, if it was actually about, okay, I can't continue to talk and list bullet points when you're doing that.
That's right.
That's
right. We're America first.
Yeah.
To all the groypers out there.
Oh, God.
To all the groypers out there, I just want to say, I don't even know if
Speaking of groypers, Diddy. Sorry, gropers. I meant gropers. Gropers.
Diddy.
No, I didn't even have anything to bring up on Diddy. Diddy's just fucking... What is there anything new on Diddy? I don't even know.
Not Diddy, but speaking of another groper, Conor McGregor.
Dude, what the fuck was that? Can we talk about that?
That's why I brought
like that's
him
the
up.
problem,
yeah.
man. Like again, this is why I don't agree with everything that the Republicans, I guess. It's not even really the Republicans, but it's like the White House. The White House is being led by a Republican Party right now. Therefore, whoever's being posted, everybody's shitting on Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the White House. The White House is Donald Trump. That's the administration. So you're really going to tell me that you're going to walk into the most obvious fucking butt of the joke there is by saying, hey, this guy was found liable of sexual assault? So is our president. They're two peas in a pod. And why does this fucking Irishman who has a cocaine problem, why is he in the fucking press room? Why is he talking? Why is he talking for Ireland?
Because he's trying to run for Prime Minister of Ireland, because Ireland by 2070 will not have Irish people be the majority of the population.
And is Conor McGregor's dick that big? You've seen the picture.
I haven't. But I want to play this video while you pull that up, and then maybe you can...
No, I'm not pulling up his dick. I'm checking on my child.
All right, but yeah, so Conor McGregor went to the White House and he gave a speech, but it's just kind of infuriating to see the White House kind of propping up somebody that was convicted of sexual assault, right? Are we right?
Yeah, less than a month ago. I don't know if it was a conviction or if it was found liable.
Okay, let's.
I'll pull that up while you do.
Let's listen to this.
Going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop. What is going on in Ireland?
So, I agree with what he's saying wholeheartedly, but the problem is, I don't know if you're the White House, if you should be putting Conor McGregor, somebody who has been associated with so much of awfulness, on this big stage. Yeah, so that's all I'm saying.
So he was found liable, no criminal rape conviction.
I don't know.
There's a civil suit against him, sexual battery, that was introduced in 2025.
So he wasn't found guilty, but still a little bit shady. But nevertheless, he wants to serve. He's a prominent figure. He wants to serve.
But that's like having Vince McMahon stand up there.
Well,
you know
Linda
what I mean?
McMahon is the...
Exactly.
Why is she there?
Why is she there?
What was it? Secretary of Education?
Yes.
Why is she there? That's my question. I don't know. This administration has had some god-awful picks and some very, very questionable decisions that they made.
We just thought we had the X-Men coming, dude. And now it's like, what has RFK been doing? What's Tulsi doing?
So, little things have happened. Beef tallow is now being used by Steak and Shake.
I saw that. It's being used by a lot more restaurants just than Steak and Shake.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Fluoride was banned from Utah, I think. Fluoride is banned from the drinking water in Utah and maybe Florida too. That might be misinformation. But, I mean, it just goes to... I want to go back to this. Joe Rogan was talking about this, and this goes with Conor McGregor, what he was saying as well. So Conor's talking about Ireland should be for Irish people, just like China is for Chinese people, India is for Indian people. Those two countries, those two big countries, they don't accept mass migration.
Right.
They want to have their natives be the majority. All he's saying is Ireland should be majority Irish. People should be allowed to move there, but the mass illegal immigration shouldn't happen. And so Joe Rogan was talking about this on a podcast recently with Daryl Cooper. He was talking about this, but for white people. He was saying this is fine. Like, we can have Islam countries that are for Muslim people, Jewish countries like Israel that are for Jewish people, China's for Chinese people. But when it comes to white people, they're not allowed to have their own country. Let's play this.
A thing when an all-white country wants to stay all-white, where people get very nervous of. If you have... You know, let's say China. Like, China is Chinese people. We all agree that it's like,
yeah,
it's filled primarily with Chinese people. There's people that live there from all walks of life, all over the world. But it's
is that a Chinese person on his arm right here?
I think so. I think it's a boot. I don't even know.
Like a sumo wrestler.
Mostly Chinese people. If China had decided that they wanted to remain Chinese and stay Chinese, and that being Chinese was very important to what China is, no one would have a problem with that.
Yeah.
When a country like Poland does it, you're like, oh, those white people, they want to keep everybody out. They want it to be all white.
Poland, that's a thing. That's a country who's really... Let me tell you something about Poland.
Let me tell you, people are doing it right up there in Poland.
Poland has the third biggest army in the world. Yeah. Do they? Is that actually? Hold on. Let me just fact check that real quick.
I just agree with everything that you say.
Polish army size ranking. All right, well, they have the 21st most powerful army in the world. Well, then what do I... What the fuck?
Where'd you get that from? No. Oh, we should start live fact-checking you sometimes, buddy. Oh, boy. 21. That's so far off. That's not even close. That's not even close. The third. Well, let me see. Go through them. I want to see them now. The 21st. Oh, that's just of Poland. I don't give a fuck about that. I want military sizes. I want to know who's in number 1. Military power rankings. Yeah, right here.
What do I... Oh, I have to buy that?
$200?
Fuck
The
that.
fuck?
All right, hold on. Poland army size 2025. Military strength.
Just go through.
Aha! Okay, NATO. Poland has NATO's 3rd largest military. Okay. But Poland's this crazy. So the president said, fuck all of the Muslim immigration, not just the illegal immigration, but we're going to cut all of the Muslim immigration off. He said, you're done. Fuck it. He wants the president of Poland and Polish people voted for an administration that's going to keep Poland majority Polish.
Right.
And a lot of the Western world has a problem with this. This is a country that, to my knowledge, is like the only country that's like a Catholic country.
Yeah.
The rest of them are kind of like, the West is just kind of dismantled them. It's like all these different things. A lot of Europe, a lot of the UK has been invaded by, I hate to say it, but like Muslim illegal immigrants, Muslim migrants, and it's ruining the country. From what I follow a bunch of people that are on Twitter, on social media from the UK, and they say like it's completely degenerating our culture, completely collapsing the culture.
Now, I want to know where they're coming from.
The idea is that the elites are importing them. And because the laws, the politicians in the UK, even their right wing is very different than ours. Like, their right wing is completely anti-gun.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, they're pussies by nature.
Yeah. Almost every other... I don't know there's another country that isn't. What party in another country is pro-gun?
Maybe Russia? Those boys are hard.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what the gun laws are like in Russia.
Well, let's look that up.
Google what the gun laws in Russia are like. How easy is it to get a gun in Russia?
That's a good question. Let's see. Firearms may be acquired for self-defense, hunting, or sports activities, as well as for collection purposes.
So it kind of sounds like us.
So in China, Japan, Venezuela, and Myanmar are the 4 countries where it's hardest to get a gun. That's another thing. We don't talk about Japan. Japan is majority Japanese people.
How are those 4 countries listed and North Korea isn't?
North Korea is an entirely different thing. I have no clue. To answer your question, I have no clue. It's just very fascinating, you know. Like I feel like we're not grateful enough to live in America, live in the West, because we could have woken up and be born into a country where we don't have any rights.
I just don't
like
think
in North Korea. Can we talk about this too?
Yeah, sure. I just don't think that we're not grateful enough to be living in the times that we're living in.
No, we're not.
Like, this is supposed to be one of the greatest times to be alive. All the inventions and all of this, you know. This life that we are able to live, where we're able to be in a home and not have to worry about being rained on or get struck by lightning or eaten by a tiger.
I thought you were gonna say raped.
Well, that too. Raped and pillaged and fucking put on stakes and crucified. I mean, you go down the line. I mean, this is the greatest time to live, arguably.
Yeah, but it also sucks.
Because of the Jews.
Whoa. Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
Kanye said it. It's got to be true.
I was going to say it also sucks because now we're about to start having to deal with problems like transhumanism and the Neuralink chip in the brain and artificial birthing pods. And now you're going to be able to determine what genes your kid has before it's born. And you could say, okay, I want my kid to be 6'5", 250, and eventually it will become 65250. Gene editing with CRISPR is a real thing. We're going to not be human anymore. That's what they're saying. And the only thing that's going to shut this down is a cataclysmic event. Maybe the grid goes down. Maybe we have a meteor. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think.
But a meteor is something that's got to just be planned. Like, what do you think? What do you think the end of days is like?
I have no clue.
Do you think this is it?
It's scripture. It's scripture. You won't know the day nor the time. Right. However, I would like to. Let's get a little bit biblical.
Dude,
okay?
Take me down the hole.
The Tower of Babel. You're familiar with the Tower of Babel story?
Yeah.
Okay, so for everybody here, let's get a little refresher. We're going to get a little bit scriptural. We're going to get a little bit of religious here. Okay, so the Tower of Babel is an origin myth in the parable in the book of Genesis meant to explain the existence of different languages and cultures. According to the story, a united human race speaking a single language migrates to Shinar, where they agreed to build a great city with a tower that would reach the sky. So the thought is that they were going to build this tower so they could be as high as God, to be like God. So they go and they want to build this tower in the sky. Then we go on here. Prior to the event, humanity was stated to speak one single language, although the preceding Genesis states that the descendants of, I'm not going to try and pronounce the names, had their own tongues, right? But we all spoke the same language. What happened was, God said, oh, you're trying to be like me? You're trying to be as great as me. You're trying to be God? Okay, from now on, boom. Now everybody was speaking different languages, and we weren't unified. So what I'm trying to say, to put it in layman's terms, there's always something, if you believe in God, there's always something when we try to get to a point where we are God, like with Neuralink, for example. Elon talks about you're going to be able to talk without words.
Now, do you believe God is a person?
No. Okay. Well, I mean, Jesus Christ was God, who is a person. Who was a person.
Was
so, yes.
Jesus God, though?
Yeah. Well, it depends on what religion, what sect of Christianity. I believe he was, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
it's very complicated.
So what do you believe, then? You don't believe he was the son of God?
Yes.
So he's the son of God. He wasn't God.
But he was. It's very hard.
How is he the son and God?
It's very hard
He's
to be
the creator? Because according to the Bible, no, he's born.
It's very hard to... Have you ever heard of the Trinity?
Yes.
God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. It's very difficult. So they're three persons, but they're also one.
Okay.
God gave his only Son, Jesus Christ, but Jesus Christ is also God. Three persons and one God.
Okay, so God gave...
I'm just giving you the mainstream Catholic version.
I'm picking your brain, dude. So God gave his only son. Jesus was a virgin birth, no?
Yes.
To the Virgin Mary.
Yes.
He disappears when he's 12 in the Bible, correct?
You're talking about the... What are you talking about? The temple, when he gets to the temple?
I forget where I don't know where he goes, but I think doesn't he disappear from the ages of 12 to 30 or something like that?
No.
12 to something?
He disappears. He leaves his mother. His mother finds him in a temple, but it's not for like an extended period of time.
Okay. I'm just picking your brain. Just want to see what this is all about.
I mean, listen, it's very hard. All of this is very hard.
It makes no sense.
I mean, you know what really doesn't make sense? When we die. Right? Assume we go to heaven. I'm trying to be a good person, but I have flaws.
Right.
So many flaws.
Right.
The problem is, it's very hard for me to imagine a world after Earth. And this is what they say. They say, like, it's unimaginable.
Right.
Like, heaven is unimaginable, or whatever is after this explained in the Bible is unimaginable.
Right.
Like, I personally cannot process infinity, just going on and on and on and never ending.
I've heard there's just so many different stories, and I'm so deep on the rabbit hole of this, Luke, on YouTube, you would shit your pants. Like, people say that the light at the tunnel is a gravitational pull that pulls you, and this is just a constant state of repetition. This life is a constant state of repetition. But how do you know that? Because we're constantly repeating.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to know that? But life goes on. But also, if you really examine it, that there is a Luke Papala in another galaxy doing exactly what we are doing right now at this exact same point in time. That's how big the universe is.
I believe
what
in the multiverse.
What does that mean?
I believe in the multiverse.
You don't have to believe in it. It's a real thing. What does that mean? Like, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense.
You know about the Younger Dryas impact theory,
yes,
right?
I know that that's something that you believe in heavily.
Yeah. I think that the world has been restarted multiple times, and I feel
all
like...
by global cataclysms, or...
Yes. Now, if we're going just by biblical stories to try and give context to history, that's what I try to do, is just in my framework. God fled the earth. He fled the earth once with Noah, and he promised he would never do it again. And then you get the story about the rainbow, and that's why it's a sign that he would never flood the earth again, whatever. But I believe that in times when humanity potentially was getting to a point where it was like, okay, we're going to challenge God, we're going to try to be like God, there was some cataclysmic event that put us back in the Stone Ages. So like with the Younger Dryas impact theory, they talk about Egypt and
the pyramids,
the whole empire, the Egyptian empire, the pyramids. We still don't know how they did that. Maybe they got to a point where they developed technology where they were trying to be like God or be like the creator, and he said, oh no, you're going to try and be like me? There's only one me.
Now, where do aliens fit into your ideology?
You see, that's the thing with aliens. If you want to get, I mean, I just don't. I more so subscribe to the belief that aliens could be us from the future. When Joe Rogan talks about this, it's interesting. When other people talk about this, they say alien sightings never really came until after the first atomic bomb.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's us in the future saying, whoa, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's the aliens, if it's not us in the future, saying, whoa, you know, these animals, these monkeys, whatever they refer to us to, they're starting to, like, really fuck shit up.
I think I subscribe to the idea that there's that the aliens might not necessarily be space, or they are space, but maybe it's underwater. How much water is on this planet?
That's another thing. It's like 75% of the Earth.
Right.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is very insane.
And it's so dark down there, and you can't survive down there, and nobody can go down there to see what's going on.
My grandpa's pool used to scare the fuck out of me. It was only 20 feet deep in the deep end, but it used to scare the hell out of me.
Dude, like, it just, Earth and life is weird, and I don't understand what happens after we're gone. However, the moral of the story is be lucky that you're here.
Yeah.
And be nice to everyone.
Yeah.
No matter what. We live in the greatest country on earth. We are able to sit here and do this show and talk about the Jews and have no repercussions other than maybe some sideways looks when we walk into the local Walmart. But all I'm saying is be nice to everyone.
We used to get lots of sideways looks.
Of course we did.
Now we're like kind of mainstream a little bit.
I mean, low
key.
key.
I don't think people think about us anymore, though. Can we just talk about this real quick?
I think we're very forgotten in like the social, in like the. Are you talking about like locally?
Locally, yeah. 100%.
I think we're forgotten about.
I think so too.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about us
Which
anymore.
we never wanted to be big locally.
No, fuck
the
them.
local scene.
No, we don't give a shit.
And I think
them.
it's because I just said fuck Instagram. It's not happening.
Well, and also I think it's the show progressed. You were kind of bringing on different people from the local area, to which the local people would then tell their local friends to say, hey, I'm going to be on a podcast. And that's how the local scene happened. And then me and you stopped going to the local bars, and we stopped doing the local scene, and we only started podcasting together, and we stopped talking about dicks and pussy 100% of the time. And now we talk about aliens and Jesus.
Yeah.
So we've come a long way.
We went political. We went heavy political.
We went heavily political, and honestly, that deterred a lot of the women that we're making fun of.
Shied.
There were never women.
There were never women. If you're a woman and you're still watching this show, you have to be at least mildly autistic. There's no way.
Or you were a man at first.
Yeah.
Like, there's
That's
no
also
way.
true.
There's no way. And there's no way that transgender's watching this show, especially an hour in.
I don't even think that transgender's real.
It's not. Luke, what are we going to end the episode with?
I mean, you tell me.
I don't even know what to talk about.
You tell me what you want to do.
We're just we're off the cuff. No slate today.
There is no slate.
We can talk about the new fucking way that this show's going to be. I mean, we're just back, back to bullshit.
I like getting philosophical with you.
It was nice.
You know what I mean? It was nice. And I didn't think that we were going to get to this part.
I don't know where we started with Israel. We hit Diddy. We nailed on the Jews. We got to the aliens.
We didn't hit Diddy.
No, we would never do that. Dude,
although,
that whole thing is insane.
So how's that going to end? Do you think they kill him? I think it's more likely right now they kill Kanye.
How do you get in a position that you are Diddy or that you are Kanye? When we talk about when we got philosophical like this, how did the human beings as a species get so out of touch with your purpose on life?
I mean, you got 15, 20 minutes.
Probably not, but
I'll try and give you a condensed version.
Where did human beings get lost to where now all we care about is videotaping you fucking a 5-year-old so I can be famous and sell my albums and have crazy parties?
Well, what did they say? Money is the root of all evil. Not to get biblical again, but I'm going to do it. When Moses...
And here's the thing, and I'm not trying to step on your toes.
No,
here,
go ahead.
But the problem is you can read the Bible front to back, and you can apply everything inside that book to your day-to-day life. Or stories you see in the news. The money, the greed, everything like that. I think it's very important that, like you said, and like Nick Fuentes says, getting back to some sort of Christian views, whether or not you believe in it, that's the whole point of, I guess, Christianity in my sense is be a good human in hopes that this reward of an afterlife and a heaven is there. If you don't have a belief system in you, then what is the point of you being on this earth?
That's the truth.
And what are you going to do with your time on this earth? Are you just going to be a piece of shit? Are you going to be a murderer? Are you going to be Diddy? Are you going to be XYZ? You waste your craft. If you are a soul trapped in this fucking craft of a body, what is that, Diddy? Why did you fuck kids or eat kids or whatever the fuck you did?
I just want to go back and say money is legit the root of all evil. And when I try not to quote scripture and be like one of those people that like throw it in your face. But when I reference the Bible, it's more so like human tendencies. And like even then, we talk about Moses, for example, he's coming down from Mount Sinai. He has the 10 Commandments. He sees all the Israelites. He comes down and they're all worshiping like the golden calf, right? You've heard the story before. It's like, it's all the same thing. Like these tendencies have been built into us for thousands and hundreds of thousands of years. And so I'm not surprised. Like that's why, like we're greedy.
It's just in our nature.
It's in our nature to continue to want and want and want. And maybe Diddy was never at a point where, in the beginning, he didn't want to do all this fucked up shit. But eventually, it got to that point because he loves money. Greed controls him and consumes him, and also, he likes control. That's also something. And I mean, you could go even further. Women, he has all these fetishes, perhaps. I mean, it's pretty well documented that he has them. But that's another thing. Lust is another big thing. Now, for some people, right, you want to talk about Dank DeMoss, the rapper that couldn't fit in the Honda Civic. Hers is gluttony, and gluttony is really big for her. But everybody, I mean, that's a double entendre right there. But I mean, everybody has their thing. But these tendencies, they're the same as they were thousands and thousands of years ago.
Right. Nothing changes.
Unfortunately.
No matter how old the earth is or how old, the oldest scripture that we have, at least it's documented that the people back then were, yes, they were different than us, but in their right way, in their own right, they were the same, with the greed, with the gluttony, with
anything,
with embarrassment, with jealousy.
Yeah.
All of it. It's insane, Luke. I don't know what the fuck we're doing on this earth.
I could tell you what the purpose of this show is just to have fun.
Yeah, I'm having a blast.
We talk about the craft. I love making the YouTube videos. Yeah. I love recording them. I think I might love making them a little bit than
Innocent Villains, and we have the intro again.
That's
too.
True. We do have the intro.
Oh,
it's gonna be sad though a little bit when we get to a point where we have an editor, because I'm gonna miss editing, but then also I'll have so much more time.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But dude, I love recording this show with you. I love where it's going.
It's phenomenal, dude.
We kind of didn't capture the villain part to where it's the back half of the podcast.
It doesn't matter.
But it is what it is, dude. It's so fun. I don't know when this is gonna come out. It might come out on Saturday. It might come out on Friday. I don't know.
It's really when our sponsor Israel lets us know that we have the green light to push this out.
That's what it is. So hopefully, Supreme Leader and the real President of the United States, Bibi Netanyahu, will not have a problem with this podcast episode. And the
but
ones
you know
going
who
forward.
has a problem with the Jews.
All right, we'll see everybody. Bye bye.